Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Friday, December 8th. I already took a loss in gold. Just got into a setup in oil. Let's take a look at how my strategies fared this morning and what the spot can do for the rest of the day right after the intro. Remember, nothing that I state on this channel is financial advice. Trading futures is risky business. Any funds that you put out there is at risk of loss. All right, so let's take a look at where we're at for the day. So far, down. Took a trade here in gold off of my inside bar at about 8:35 in the morning. We got activated to the short, reversed really quickly for a 35 tick loss. So that one kind of stunk, but we had actually no setup in oil session one. So no setup here. We did get an inside bar at 9:10 for session two. So we had orders placed. Um, Ooh, that came really close to our full take profit there. That would have been a nice. Uh, Man, by a tick. Ugh, these ticks are just killing me. But so yeah, we get this inside bar. We get another inside bar. So it's
Target
obviously
filled.
there we go. Full take profit on session two. So 29 points. Balances off the day just a little bit. So um, that's awesome. That I really, we really needed that one. And then let's see here. Sorry, let me just. Okay. What did the bot do this morning? So the bot just took right before I started the video, right here, took a 1 minute goal line. Freaking awesome trade. And literally hit my stop loss by one tick right here. One one tick. This is where my stop was. Look at that. That would have been a full. That would have been a full take profit. Oh, God. And I wanted to give it some space. It's just this has got some trailing stop that even if you move it, it kind of just bounces back into where the strategy wants to put it. So that was a bummer. I mean, a serious bummer. I took about a $50 loss on that. Man, that would have got our account right back to break even. This trade right here alone. And I mean, that's just kind of what the market does, right? I mean, it gives and takes away. So yesterday it gave a lot, and today, by one tick. You're not in an awesome trade. So that one hurt. That one hurt. So I'm done in oil. That was a really nice trade there. Still down because my gold was 35 ticks, so that was a $350 loss. Oil only one session triggered today, and that was 29 ticks of profit for 290. So I'm down $60 there. Um, so I mean, it is what it is. Let's take a look and see if anything has shown up in the Rob reversal. We get a short entry and a long entry set up, but again, those are pre-session. We're not taking that trade. At 8:30, we got a long setup, but that would close underneath the ADMA. I know that's a very nice move. And then we get a short at about 9 setup, but closed above the ADMA, so no trade there. So no trade today yet on the NQ, but you never know. Hopefully, we get something that comes in on that one. Man, this one's gonna sting. This one's gonna sting for a little bit. Not gonna lie, that one's gonna sting a little bit. All right, well, let's see what the rest of the day holds for. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to point out, just because I got a few questions on it in the Discord. So in scenarios like this, where you've got an inside bar at 910, at this point you would be putting in your. No, I'm not trying to do a trend line. I'm trying to do a. This is not what I'm trying to do, but where the heck is just the line tool? Oh, I think I can use this. Anyways, sorry, I had a. So our entry for long would be one tick above. So let's just say it would be right here. Okay, so that would be our long entry, which obviously we got entered. And then we would have our short entry down here, one tick below. And then, so the question was, do you move the stop if there's another inside bar down to here? Okay. And the answer to that question would be no. My strategy from the beginning has always been we stay with the original inside bar. Okay. And you base all of your stop loss and take profits based on the original inside bar. Okay. So I figured it's a good teaching moment here because this does happen sometimes. And to be honest with you, what you're going to find is the more inside bars that you get in a row, the stronger that push is going to be. It's just showing a lot of indecision, and it's just waiting for the market to just go, in one direction or the other. So hopefully that helps out some traders. So stick around for my trade recaps on what the bot can take today. And I think we've pretty much narrowed down what my strategies have fared out, but let's see hopefully if the NQ Rob reversal comes in. All right, stick around. All right, so this was a pretty exciting trade for me. As you can see, I'm outlining price action, and I already see that move to the overnight open, the rejection of the overnight open, and then where it's starting now to curl back down. And I'm just thinking to myself, this wants to go back to the overnight open. And what I'm trying to do as far as an entry, I'm trying to take a short, but I'd rather take a short here at the top of this range, to give myself a better chance of success. So, there's no reason to short at the bottom of the range, short it at the top of the range. And now I'm just waiting for that candle to turn red.
Order filled.
And I'm in this trade. So I initially moved my take profit pretty much a little bit above the overnight open. That's kind of where I'm thinking price action is going to go. And I want to get tight on my stop loss here because this could obviously be a continuation of trend upwards, and I don't want to get caught into that. So, and this trade does take a little while, so I speed up the trade here, and then I take my stop loss and I move it to pretty much break even plus maybe a few ticks, pay for commission. I also move my take profit to the 5-minute red line because I figured that's a great spot, and that's going to probably end up giving me $400 in profit, which would be great for this trade. And I'll explain to you guys what happens here at the end of this trade when I try to close it. All right, there you have it. Day 10 is complete. We are green on the 5K challenge, which is amazing. It could have been so much better. That first of all, that first trade in oil, that one tick is all we needed for at least a $400 take profit on that. And then I take a really nice trade, but after that, the bot would have taken a really nice NQ trade that I was not in. I'm going to explain it to you guys here, what my thinking was. So let me open up the NQ. This just seems like, it's reoccurring, and you get this big thrust right through the overnight open. Okay. and you get this huge cup. It's like I've been showing it to you guys like literally every single day. It's like this big move that just comes back, curls all the way back in, rejects right above the overnight open, doesn't actually touch it here. And then look at this, goes right back up to about the same level that you had your rejection last time. And what then happens? I start to see this range. Okay, you start to see the bottoming of, or I should say, the start of the curl. You start to see this range, and then I'm just saying to myself, you know what? If price action, I'm gonna wait for price action to go back into this 5-minute goal line, which was pretty much at the top of the range, and I'm gonna try with a short, very small stop loss. So I'm very little risk on that trade, but the reward, in my opinion, was huge. I mean, you had to take profit of pretty much right around this overnight open. Since it didn't really touch the last time, I was thinking, okay, somewhere maybe in this general vicinity is probably where it wants to go. So I get into this short right here, and then just like I said, beautiful trade. This thing goes into profit, and I pretty much move my stop loss to break even plus maybe a few ticks or a point just to pay for commission. So I got no risk on this trade at this point. And then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, well, maybe we get a bounce off of the 5-minute red line and it's more of a continuation trade. And the true area where it does not want to go is the overnight open. So I do have that in the back of my head. So I'm like, you know what? If I move my stop to the 5-minute red line, I know that I've got myself a pretty good, probably $400 profit. So that was actually my thought there was, let's finish the Friday off with a nice profit. And the funny thing is, and I said I was going to explain it to you here, just a dumb mistake. So I'm trying to close the trade once I think I was close to like 350 or 370. I can't remember exactly where it was at. And instead of actually exiting out of the main trade, I exit out of the stop loss and the take profit. So those two OCO orders that are thrown up there, I cancel both of them. So I'm like, oh my God, I can't even get out of this trade now. And it worked out really well because then we had this huge flush. And then what I did is I just flattened my position in the control center. I ended up taking, let's take a look at the performance for today. 2 trades, that one trade in oil, which could have been so nice. Could have been such a beauty. But I ended up taking $430 on that NASDAQ short. I'm super happy with that trade. I thought it was pretty well executed, minus the whole debacle at the end. But as I state, the market takes and the market gives. So I'll have some mistakes that I'm like looking at myself later. I'm like, wow, you're a real idiot. And then you have some mistakes where it ends up, maybe probably ended up giving me an extra $90 on that push right there at the end. So good trade there. Hopefully you guys can understand my methodology here, or I guess what I was thinking here. And hopefully that can help some traders out. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I just took a $430 profit. It's Friday. You guys all know, I've said it many times, I love going into the weekend in the green. So I end up shutting down oil well, actually, once I flatten the position, it exit out of my strategies. So I was, and at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm done for the day. So look what then happens. We get a move up. We get a curl down into the 5-minute red line. Okay. And the bot would have taken this trade because it shows you which trades you would have, it would have taken even if, you're not in it. So once you activate it, once the strategy is activated, it's going to show you all of the trades, good or bad. And it gets into this trade, or it would have gotten into this trade, and it's a slow grinder all the way up, and then knocks you out here just because of your trailing stop for what would have been an extra $316 of profit. Would I have gotten into this trade though? Probably not. Just seeing the movement up, and then I curl down the overnight open right here, I probably don't get in this trade. So, it's just the truth. So I don't think that, even though that the bot would have taken this, I don't necessarily think I would have. But that would have been a nice winner. I mean, obviously you can think of 1,000 what if scenarios, but could you imagine hitting that oil trade, the $430 into the overnight trade, and this one? I mean, oh, talk about that would have been a winner chicken dinner of a day. But hey, that's okay. Let's I think we already talked about gold. Gold was a loser today, $350 loser. First trade there of in the morning. So I was already down, and I was really hoping that oil would come and save the day. Actually had that trade open with you guys in my earlier session with you, and here it is again. You get the two inside candles back to back. You just get this huge move up, $290 profit there. So ended off $60 in the red with my strategies. But it's a beautiful thing because they kind of balance each other out. It's, instead of taking a $350 loss, I'm taking a $60 loss, which is great. It's not great, but I mean, it's better than the alternative. So strategies, in my opinion, first of all, this week did fantastic. The Rob reversal, what are we taking a look at here? Already went over these. You get a long setup, closes underneath the ADMA, no trade. Above the ADMA, no trade. Above the ADMA, no trade. Still showing some decent movement, but just no setups today on the 15-minute Rob reversal. So it's 1:17 now Central Time, so it's already past my trading time for that. So I'm done. I'm done for the day. It's been a fun week. I could say oil is just, today was great, but I mean, it's been a stressful week with oil, but an extremely profitable week with oil. So it's really tested a lot of our, it's tested our strategy. I should say it's tested my strategy, and it's tested me as a trader. I think I shared with you guys that one day where I went break even and then full take profit, and I said it, I poorly mismanaged that trade. But in general, a great week. It's been a fun week. So enjoy the weekend. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Please like the video and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about the trades, what you thought about the setups, which ones you took, and how you guys are doing in your journey. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Happy trading.